All right, we're going to start today's class in child's pose. So make your way into child's pose. We'll come onto our hands and our knees. Bring your knees out, mat distance width or in line with your hips, whatever is more comfortable for you. Sink your hips back and we bring our arms nice and long, head sinking down onto the mat. And just begin by noticing your body and where you're at right now. Maybe you've had a really busy day, have lots of things going through your mind. Or maybe you're feeling a bit sluggish and using this as a bit of a boost of energy. So today's class is going to be centered around lack of attachment. It's a really common principle throughout yoga and throughout Eastern philosophy. And, a lot of times we think about this in terms of material items, but I'm going to be talking about today in terms of lack of attachment towards our own thoughts and where we want to be and where we're at right now and maybe where we used to be. So working through this, it's kind of relates back to a lot of aspects in our lives of what are you looking forward to? And when you're thinking too far ahead, you're not living in the moment. Or when you're worried about something that's going to happen, you're not able to appreciate what's going on right now. Same things goes with thinking about things that have previously happened to you, whether they're great things that are really happy memories or things that maybe bring up some difficult emotions throughout your life. It really helps, takes away from living in right where we are right now. So we're going to start off with just setting our intention for today's practice. And today's intention is going to be focusing on right now, right here, what's going on. So take a scan through your body and just notice how you're feeling right now. Are there any tight parts in your muscles, any tension, any stiffness? And just observe those and accept those as part of where your body is right now. Like I said a few minutes ago, with our mind as well, notice where your mind's at. Is that the things you have to do later on today? Is it something that already happened? Or are you able to just focus on what's happening right now in the present? Centering on our breath can really help to ground us in this practice. So begin to focus on breathing in and breathing out, lengthening the inhales and the exhales. If you're breathing through your mouth, seal your lips and notice the cool air coming in through your nose and the warmer air coming back out. Bring a slight constriction to the back of your throat and begin activating your Ujjayi breath. Bring some heat and energy into the body. Tiptoe your fingers over to the top left corner of your mat. Maybe your right hand stacks on top of your left, opening up the right side body. Notice the space that's being created. Breathe into your right lung. And allow your shoulders and your hips to sink back and relax into the mat. Tiptoe your fingers back through center and then over to the top right corner of your mat with your left hand on top, opening up the left side body, breathing into the left lung. Bring your fingers back through center. Option to keep your arms extended, or maybe you bring your hands towards your shins, coming into seated pose. Here for a couple more breaths. Press up onto your knees, and we're going to come in to tabletop. Hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips, and we'll start pairing our breath to movement. So exhale, belly drops, chest comes forward. Nope, that's wrong. Inhale. Exhale, press the mat away, chin to chest. Inhale, belly drops, chest forward. Exhale, press the mat away. So in our class today, we're going to be working up through Wild Thing, which is a bit of a fun pose, and I thought was kind of relevant to today because as we're working through non-attachment with our mind and body and living in the moment, we can really let go of our expectations of what we think a pose should look like or what our body should be doing in a pose, and just really embracing being in the moment and enjoying the openness of these poses. Tuck your toes under, and we lift our hips, coming into downward dog. Bring a bit of movement into it here, bending your knees, straightening them, just opening up the back of our legs here. Bring a nice deep bend into your knees, elongating your spine. And then straightening as much as works for you in your downward dog. Come up onto your toes and slowly walk forward into a forward fold, keeping a nice deep bend in your knees so that your fingertips can brush the mat. And we're just gonna start brushing our fingertips along the mat. I kind of like to imagine it as if you have some sand and you're just kind of playing in the sand, maybe coming over to one side and then the other. And just bringing some movement and playfulness and joy into the space. Come back through center, and we'll bring our hands behind our back now, lacing them up and allowing your fists to fall over your head. Bend your knees, and we're slowly going to come up into standing, letting your arms kind of hang out. I'm going to adjust the camera here. All right, so shake it out with your arms. Inhale, arms are going to come up high. Exhale, cactus them, open to a mini back bend. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, left arm comes back. Gaze over left shoulder. Inhale, arms back up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach. Exhale, open to the right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach up. Bring the knees, shake them around a little bit, and we're just going to bend forward and kind of sway through it back down. So really just bring some movement in here, swaying back and forth, and then swaying back up to standing. Open the chest, mini back bend. Inhale, reach. Open to the left. Inhale, reach. Cactus the arms. Inhale, reach. Open to the right. Inhale, reach. Cactus. And reach. Bend the knees, wiggle them around, and sway back down. We'll do this one more time. You can do it in your own breath, faster, slower if it feels right to you. But we come back up to standing. Open to cactus. Reach up. Open left. Reach up. Mini cactus. Reach up. Open right. Reach up. Open cactus. Reach up, wiggle the knees around, and we bend down one last time. Slowing yourself down and eventually coming to a static position here in our forward fold. Bring a bend into your knees, and we're going to step back into plank. We're actually not going to be doing any vinyasas today. But we'll just take a moment here in our plank to engage the core. Option to bring your knees down at any point. And then we lift our hips coming into downward dog. Inhale, reach your right leg up high, three-legged dog. And we bring our right leg through. Left knee comes down. We come into a low lunge, arms raised up high. Take a moment to settle here. Bring a nice deep bend into your right knee, stretching out the side of our left leg. Straighten your right leg, coming into half splits, pulling your upper leg into your hip socket. Inhale, lengthening the breath. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, folding. We'll hold here for 3 more breaths. Inhale, back up to crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, here for 3 breaths. Pinkies come together, reaching your arms up, really feeling the energy created in them. Exhale, sink back to half splits. Flex your right foot, pull your hip back. Inhale, reach up high. Option this time to stay here, or if you want to bring a bit of a quad stretch in, we have the option to bring our right arm back, grab our left foot, and come into a quad stretch. Release your left foot if you were holding it. And then we're going to rotate to the long side of our mat, coming into an extended side angle. So bring our right elbow to right knee, reaching towards the top of your mat. And then we come through center into gate, toes pointing towards the long edge of your mat, outside edge of your right foot pressing down into the mat. We're going to come down onto our hands and knees here. And just take a moment here to rock back and forth and explore how this pose is feeling to you today. Maybe it feels better to stay still, or maybe you choose to sink back onto your left heel, coming into a child's pose with an extended right leg. Three more breaths here. And then we're going to rotate towards the top of our mat, coming one last time into Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Hands come down to frame the feet, step back into tabletop. Option to take a child's pose, or we come into downward dog. Inhale, left leg rises into three-legged dog. And we bring our left foot through, right knee comes down to the mat, Inhale up, crescent lunge. Again, take a moment to settle here. Pull your shoulder blades down your spine. Reach your arms up, creating the energy between your hands. Shift your weight backwards, straighten your left leg, coming into half splits. On the inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, folding. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, folding. While you're here, notice where your mind is going. Is it wandering? And can you pull it back, just being here in this moment? Shift your weight forward, bend your left knee, arms come up high as a crescent. Shift back, half splits. Inhale, back up into low lunge. This time again, option to reach back and grab your right foot with your left hand, right hand coming to the knee for balance. Find a focus point in front of you to help with your balance here. Gently release your right foot down. And we make our way into side angle on this side. So bring your left elbow to the left knee, reaching forward. Switch sides here. So I'm facing. Notice the opening in the right side body here. And then we straighten our left leg, point the toes towards the long edge of the mat, coming into gate. Hands come down onto the mat. And again, just play around with how your body's feeling here. Is it nicer to rock back and forward? Does it feel best to sink back onto your right heel and come into a child's pose with your left leg extended? Just take your time, knowing we'll be here for a few breaths. Bring yourself back up onto your hands. And we shift back towards the front of our mat, coming into a low lunge for one last time. Arms up high. And then we raise our hands back down, bring our left leg back to meet our right. Option to come into child's pose for a few breaths, or we meet in downward dog. Three more breaths here. Inhale, right leg comes up, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your right leg through, and this time we rise to a high lunge. Take a moment to sink in here, noticing the different sensations between our low lunge and our high lunge. Feeling the strength in your legs. And then we're going to straighten our right leg and come into a pyramid pose here. So if you have blocks, it might have been helpful, but we don't have blocks with us right now. So we're going to shorten our stance just a little bit, keeping our feet in line with our hips. And we're going to fold forward over our right leg, keeping a nice straight back, hinging at your hips and folding forward. Pull your left hip back so it's in line, or your right hip back so it's in line with your left. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, folding. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up through standing. Pivot towards the long side of your mat with your toes pointed slightly outwards. And again, we'll hinge at the hips coming into a forward fold. Sorry, your toes are pointing slightly inward here. Feel free to adjust the width of your stance. Let your head hang heavy. Rock side to side. Maybe you begin to walk your hands back between your legs. Or reach to your calves. Wherever you're at, bring your hands back down. Heels come slightly inwards, and we're going to come up into goddess pose. So we come up to standing and sink our hips down, not into a full squat, but just a deep half squat here. Feel the burn in your legs. Feel the openness in your chest. Hands can come down to knees if that's easier for you. And then we're just going to dip one shoulder down and then the other. We're not here for too much longer. Come back through center. Sink 1 inch lower in your squat. And inhale, coming up into star, straightening your legs, reaching your arms up high. Pivot your toes to point the top of your mat. Maybe step a little bit back. We're going to come once again into our high lunge here. Inhale, hands come down to frame the right foot. Step back into downward dog. Option to take child's pose here for a few breaths. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, bring your left foot forward. Rise to high lunge. Sink deeply into your left knee. And then we'll straighten our left leg, maybe shorten our stance a little bit so that we can get both heels on the ground. Hands come to hips just to help remind us to keep our back nice and strong. And we hinge at our hips, coming forward into pyramid pose. Hands can come onto the shins or stay on the hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Shift your feet towards the long edge of your mat, toes slightly pointed inwards, and we come forward into a wide angled forward fold. This time, widen your legs so that you can bring one hand down onto the mat. We'll start with our left hand underneath our face, reach our right arm up high. Right arm comes back and replaces our left. Left arm reaches up high into the twist. Release your left hand back down. Bring your heels slightly inwards. Curl your spine up. And we sink down into goddess pose. One more breath. Sink lower. And inhale, reaching up and out into star. Opening up the body, reaching to the corners of your room. And then we rotate to the top side of our mat, high lunge once again. Hands come down to frame our foot. Step back into downward dog or into child's pose. All right, no matter where you're at now, do bring your knees down to the mat and come into a seated position. I'm just going to change this again so you can actually see me. There's Llewellyn being my little companion. All right, and we're going to come into one leg out extended, other leg bent in. So I'm going to start with my left leg extended out, my right knee brought in. Wherever feels comfortable, because my knee's not so great right now. This is where I'm at. Maybe yours is tucked a bit higher or further down. And we're just going to point kind of diagonal, kind of over our right foot, and begin to fall forward into a forward fold towards our left leg. If you do have a block or a blanket, you can use it under your right knee for support. And we're going to start warming up for Wild Thing now. While you're here, just really notice the natural curve of your spine, the weight of your head, and releasing and relaxing into the pose. Letting your muscles open the longer we're here. Roll your spine back up. Bring your right arm behind your right hip. And we're going to press up into a modified Wild Thing. So we're going to come up onto our right knee. Left arm reaches up and behind us. So we've got a full body stretch on our left side of our body here. Inhale, hips come back down. Fold over the left leg for 2 breaths. 1, 2. Sweep your right arm behind you. Hips raise, left arm raise, modified Wild Thing. Hip sinks down, fold over your left leg. 2 breaths here. Right arm sweeps back, hips lift. Reaching your right arm over your head. Gaze can be towards your fingers or just straight ahead. 1 more breath. Release the hips down. And now we're going to switch our legs out. So extend your right leg out, left leg tucks under. Again, noticing there's some differences in where your legs and hips and knees fall on each side of your body. Just accepting where we're at right now. Fall forward over your right leg into a forward fold. Head hangs heavy. Slowly roll up and out. Bring your left hand behind your left hip. And we press up onto our left knee, right arm reaching behind us. Opening up the front of the body and the right side. Exhale, hips come down. Fold back over your right leg. Here for 2 breaths. Left arm sweeps back. Right arm reaches up and over, hips rise. Hips sink down, fold over your right leg. Last one, left arm back, right arm rises. Here for 5 breaths this time. And lower your hips back down, folding over your right leg. All right, take a sip of water if you need it. And we're going to move into our next little mini flow, getting us ready. So this time we're going to extend our left leg out long and bring our right knee up high. Maybe we're going to do it the other way first time for me. Bring your left leg out long, right leg extended. So your left foot's going to kind of be right up next to your body as much as it works for you. Maybe you're here, maybe you're here. And we're going to take our left hand down to our right foot. So we've got kind of a twist going on here. And then we release our left hand, bring it back towards our left hip. And this time we're going to push up into full wild thing. So we're going to press up through our left foot, hips rise, right arm reaching over your head. If this doesn't work for you, do the pose from the previous time with the knee down. Hips come back down. Left arm comes to meet the outside edge of the right foot. This time we're going to lengthen the spine. Exhale, rotate over towards our right shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more breath. And we bring our left arm back behind our left hip. Reach our right arm up and over a wild thing. Release back down. Left arm comes forward into the forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Left arm comes back. Right arm rises. Press up to wild thing. Lower your hips back down and we'll swap out our legs. So this time our left leg's extended, right leg's closer towards our body, bent. Again, whatever works for you. You might be doing it here on this leg. Bring your right foot towards your right hand towards your left foot. Maybe your hand's on your calf, maybe you're reaching towards your feet. It's your body, it's your practice. Just take a moment here to settle in. Release your foot, right arm comes back behind your right hip, press up, left arm over your head, wild thing. Hips sink down, fold forward over your left foot. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Release your right hand. Bring your right hand behind your right hip. Press through your right foot. Hips rise. Left arm reaching up over your head, wild thing. Lower back down. If this is feeling good for you, do it the same way we had before, but it's not feeling great for me. So I'm gonna come back to how we did it the first time around with on my knee. So if you are having your leg up high, reach your right hand towards your left foot. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, twisting. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Bring your right hand behind your right hip. Press up, coming back into wild thing. hips lower down. And we're just going to come for a moment into butterfly. Bring your knees out wide. And we slowly begin to forward fold over our butterfly. Take a moment to come back into your breath and notice your breathing, your body, how those wild things felt. Maybe they were really great and fun, maybe they were really challenging, but were you able to just accept them as they were and sit with them? Don't worry, you'll have one more chance for your wild thing as we finish up here. All right, slowly come back up. And we're gonna make our way into tabletop and downward dog for one last version of our flow that we did earlier. Toes tuck, hips lift, downward dog. We'll be here for 3 breaths. Inhale, right leg raises, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bring your right leg forward, up to high lunge. Sit here for a moment with it. Then we straighten our right leg, shorten your stance. Inhale, and fold forward into pyramid. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise out of pyramid, face towards the long edge of your mat. Toes slightly pointing inward. Hinge at the hips, forward fold. Here for 3 breaths. As you begin to rise, bring your heels in, toes pointed out, and we sink down into goddess pose for 3 breaths. And inhale, rise to star for 3 breaths again. Pivot your feet towards the top corners of your mat, sink down, high lunge. Hands come back down. And this time we're going to come back into 3-legged dog. Up, bend your right knee, lift your knee to the sky, and bring your right leg down. Flipping your dog. Don't want to hit the cat. Coming into wild thing one last time. Reach your right arm up over your head, right hip lifting up high. Rotate back onto your left leg, right leg raised, 3-legged dog. And we come back into downward dog. Well done. If you made it, flipping your dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, bring your left foot through, rise to high lunge. Here for 3 breaths. Straighten your left leg, shorten your stance, hinge at the hips, and we fold forward into pyramid. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, and fold. Rotate yourself to the long edge of your mat, toes pointing slightly in, forward fold, hands down. Two more breaths. Slowly roll yourself up, heels come in, hips sink down, goddess. Here for 3 breaths. Inhale, rise to star. Rotate towards the top edge of your mat, high lunge. Hands come down to frame the foot, and we step back into three-legged dog with our left leg raised. Bend your left knee, open your left hips, and we let our left foot come, flipping our dog, meeting in wild thing. Bring your left hand back down, left foot rises, three-legged dog. And we lower our left foot, coming into downward dog. Bring your knees down to the mat. Hip mat distance if that's helpful, and sink back down into child's pose. Bring your awareness to your breath. Focusing on where you are right now. Not what just happened 30 seconds ago. Not what's going to happen for the rest of your day. Not being attached to how things were, or how things are wanted to be, or the worry of how things are. Just feeling your presence in the moment we're at right now. If you're happy here in child's pose, stay. Or if you'd like to make your way onto your back for Shavasana, please take the time to do that. As you prepare your mind for the focus and clearness of your Shavasana, spend a couple last thoughts on your breath, filling up your body, and just existing in the moment. We'll be here for a couple of minutes, and I'll let you know when it's time to move on. Begin to deepen your breath, bringing life and energy back into your body. Maybe wiggling your fingers and toes, reaching up above your head for a full body stretch. And then draw your knees into your chest. Make your way over onto one side, into a fetal position, taking one last moment of rest and focus. Press yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Eyes can remain shut or gaze soft in front of you. Bring our hands to heart center. We close our practice with gratitude. Gratitude for our minds and the focus they give us. Gratitude for our breath and the life it gives us. And gratitude for our bodies and all they do for us. Raise your hands up to your third eye. The light in me sees the light in you. I'm very happy that you joined me today. I'm grateful. Thank you.